The size of your kombucha container is the size of your kombucha Scoby because it seals on top. So you try to not disturb your kombucha brew while it's brewing because you'll sort of it doesn't upset it, but it'll start to form another Scoby. When you go to use your Scoby, because we know that it needs that oxygen, do just use either the mother or the baby. It doesn't really matter which one you use. Don't leave too many of them to build up in there because again, it will take some of that oxygen away. If it's too thick, we've got to make it very easy, and we've got to get a nice brew, a healthful brew, and a very tongue-tasty brew. If you're fermenting in it, you're very fortunate to have like a big oak barrel, which is beautiful if you're doing it for a commercial purpose. You'll get that beautiful big Scoby and the size of the barrel, and you can actually make them into drum skins. They have lots of uses. When you dry your Scoby, you can make little moccasins out of them. You can use them to make sandals. You can use it as like a vegan leather. So you can make a nice little sexy skirt, a nice little vest. There's so many things that you can do with these beautiful little babies. So when you dry it like that, it's like a dog pig's ear. My dog loves to munch on those. I give little slivers of it to my chickens in their chicken food, and they really love it as well. You can get these and put them through your food processor. Put a little bit of liquid. You can use like something that's a second ferment, like a strawberry or something that's like a berry that's got a little bit of nice flavour. You can add some fresh strawberries, a little bit of basil. I like to put a little bit of sumac on top when I dry them. So then you spread it out on your dry dehydrator trays or solar dryer, and then you just let them dry away at a nice slow temperature, and you've got a beautiful little roll up. There's so much that you can do with these little fellas. You can blitz these because you're going to get so many of them. Blitz them or put them through your food processor. Put a little bit of coconut oil and some nice essential oil or some nice herbs, and you'll have a lovely body salve, and it's very healing and very calming. With your liquid, if you take, say, about like a cup of really well brewed, so it's nicely brewed, so it's very on more the acidic range, and add like a quarter of a cup of organic blackstrap molasses, and you've got this wonderful pH balancing. This is just so good. Start off like with a teaspoon, build up to a tablespoon a day. Also makes a beautiful marinade too. You can put it onto your foods and soak in there and use it as a marinade. But yes, so we know that a body that it needs to be alkaline, so that's very good to have for that. And I'm even told it helps with your grey hairs. So molasses and your well brewed tea, and you don't really need to refrigerate it. You can, but it doesn't need to be. It'll store forever, and you can just have little bits of it as your body needs it, because that's really a really great little tonic with your blackstrap molasses and your tea. When you start drinking your tea, do just start like with a half a cup a day and build it up. You know, a therapeutic dose, you only need it 2 to 3 times a week. It's not something that you need to guzzle on. But if you're wanting to dilute it, which is a really great idea, get something like a Tahibo tea, and you can buy those at your herb shops, and you can blend that, brew up your Tahibo tea, and dilute your kombucha when you go to serve it. That's a really nice, healthful way of serving it. If you're going to do herb brews, like this one's your licorice root, which is really nice with a little bit of ginger, or lavender, it makes a beautiful booch. But there's so many herbs that you can use. You can actually do them in your first fermentation. So you can actually replace your tea bags with a herb of the same sort of quantity that you would be using, same liquids, everything else. You can even use a herb brew in place of your water and brew it away that way, as long as it's got the sweetness in there as well. Now, when you do that, you don't reuse your Scoby. So with that Scoby, when you pull that out of your herb brew, you would use that like to put through your food processor with your oil and make your salve. So you don't reuse it for another brew. So that's my little kombucha tips.